Hey guys, I'm back with video number 7 of my '83 Nighthawk Bobber project. The bike looks a lot different from my last video. I was riding down the road on Sunday and the engine, I was on the interstate doing about 6,000 RPMs, and the engine started knocking really hard and running really rough, and this thick white gray smoke was pouring out of this vacuum tube here. It's in the lower crankcase. So I think I blew a piston ring. I'm hoping that's what it is. Hoping it's not a bearing, because bearings are really hard to come by on a 30-year-old bike like this. So if it is bearings, I'm gonna have a hard time finding them. I might even have to get them made at a machine shop, which is going to be very expensive. So I'm hoping that it's a piston ring. So we'll see. But I'm rebuilding this engine myself. I've never done this before, so I'm a little bit excited to do this. That's the one thing in this whole bike that I haven't gone through. When I started this project, I had a stock Nighthawk, and I've pretty much taken everything apart to polish, paint, replace, but I didn't touch the engine other than the polishing the covers here. Other than that, I didn't touch the engine because it ran well before I started the project. So I'm like, why? I'm not going to crack open an engine that's running well. But since this happened, it's going to give me the opportunity to go through the entire engine, rebuild it from ground up. That way I'll have a 0-mile engine when I'm done. And at that point, I would have gone through every single part of this bike. I will know it from back to front. So I'm trying to stay positive. It's kind of frustrating because it took me so long to get this bobber on the road, and then this happens at the beginning of summer, and now I'm back in the garage. So, but I'm being positive and knowing that I'm going to do this right, and it'll be a learning experience rebuilding an engine, and again, I'm kind of excited about cracking this thing open and seeing what's in there. I'm a member of the Nighthawk forum, and there's a guy on there, I think his name is 40 Hour Day or something, and he rebuilt this exact bike's engine in his kitchen and dining room, which is kind of cool. And he has a repair thread that shows step-by-step pictures, videos of the rebuild process, so I'm going to use that in my shop manual and some other information to get the job done. But that's what's underway now, rebuilding the engine. So here's all the parts. Oh yeah, I got this motorcycle lift from work. I work in a tool warehouse, so I got this pretty good deal on this motorcycle lift, which lifts the whole bike up, makes it easier to work on. With this lift, I got this whole bike, well, not the whole bike, most of the bike broke down in like 2 hours. The only thing still on there is the engine and then the rear swing arm, which I'll probably take off next. So, you might think, well, if you're rebuilding an engine, why do you have the front forks off? Well, another thing I'm going to do while I'm down is go ahead and rebuild the front forks. The seals are bad. After I ride it, you can see like all the way up to right here, there's like grime and oil because these seals are bad. So I'm going to do that, some other things. Redo the carbs again. I think it was running a little rich. That may been a part of the problem why it failed on me. So I'm going to go back through those, clean them up real good, and adjust them a little bit more leaner. I ended up having to buy another front fender. I had sold mine on eBay, but it rains pretty much every day of the summer here in Florida. And without a front fender, the water came right up off the front wheel and hit me right in the face with a half helmet, and that wasn't going to work. So I picked this up off eBay pretty cheap, threw some black paint on it. It doesn't look too bad on there, but I can't wait till the rain stops so I can get it back off. Here's my wiring. A lot of questions on wiring on my videos. It's kind of funny. This is the extent of the wires. Here are the handle grips. All the wires come down, and then here's all the wiring. So fuse box, turn signal relay. Actually, that's the key switch. There's the turn signal relay right there. The controller, starter solenoid right here. My horn relay. That's pretty much the extent of the wires, other than the coils here, and then the rectifier. Here's my electronics box. Other than those two things, this is the extent of the wiring. So it's amazing to me how much extra wire is on a stock bike that when you strip it down to what you don't need on a bobber, this is it, right here. So another thing I'm going to do while this thing is down is take advantage of the opportunity to even clean this up even more. I mean, it looks good all the way up to right here, but I'm going to get these wires all cleaned up and have better fittings and get it a little bit better, because I kind of had to cram it into that electronics box, but I'm going to do a lot better this time. Here's my new seat. It's a Biltwell. It's kind of frustrating too, because I was actually taking it on a test drive because I went from a 2-inch spring to a 3-inch spring. And initially when I put it back on the bike, I kind of felt like that was being pushed forward, so I had to fabricate these new front brackets. This is just out of metal bar. I just cut it out and drilled some holes, and so after I put this on and I was on that test drive, I'm going to paint these black when I get back on the bike, so it'll blend in better, get all this back to flat black. But once this was back on the bike and I was on that test drive, the seat was so much more comfortable. I mean, it's like I was floating on, just air with this thing, because it's so much more forgiving than that 2-inch spring. But that's where I'm at in the rebuild process, back in the garage, not on the road. A little frustrating, but it is what it is. I'm trying to make the best of it and come out with a 0-mile engine at the end. So hopefully I won't be down more than a month, depending on getting the parts and everything. But again, I'm excited to actually rebuild my own engine. It's a little daunting, but I've come this far. I'm not going to say, oh, my engine blew, I guess this is just a big pile of junk. Heck no. I'm going to crack this engine open. I'm going to figure out what's wrong with it. I'm going to replace it. I'm going to rebuild it. I'm going to be back on the road. I mean, that's exactly what I'm going to do. And that's what you got to do when you build your own bike. If it's broke, you fix it. So that's it for now. Any questions? Let me know. Thanks for all the words of encouragement and the likes on my previous videos. A lot of guys out there are building the same kind of bike, which is awesome. I mean, I love bobbers. I mean, ever since I built this one, every time I see one, I try to chase them down on my bike and talk to them and find out what they did and everything. And it's just awesome to me how many guys out there are actually are taking the time to take a stock bike that everybody else has and turn it into something that's original, unique, the way they want it, the way they like it, the color they want, not what the factory chose. It's awesome to me. But keep it up. I hope to see bobbers take over the road. I mean, but again, thanks for all the encouragement, and good luck to everybody out there that's doing this. And if I can help in any way, let me know. But that's it for now. Rebuild underway. I'll post some more videos of my progress when I crack the engine open, let you know what I find and stuff like that. But